Okay, we're all set up, thankfully. That took longer than I expected, but still trying to adjust the camera. I think that looks pretty centered. Okay, so today we're going to be crocheting some bees. I made most of these this morning. We just have to close up the bottoms and stuff them. This was about 3 hours of work, somewhere around there. I've got one finished that I made last night, and then the rest of these I made this morning. Let's see. My yarn is a mess all over the floor because it kept getting tangled. We'll start with the yellow, then we can do the darker yellow when we're done. If the music's too loud, let me know and I'll turn it down. Or if it's annoying, I'll turn it off. So today is day 2 of the Market Prep Challenge. It's being run by Cameron's Cute Creations. Yesterday I actually did pretty well. I did 6 chickens and then I finished 2 pattern tests. So I didn't have a lot going on yesterday either, so I was able to just crochet and get the 2 hours long done. But yeah, I did pretty good. Today I was hoping to do possums for the challenge, but I haven't had a chance to release the pattern yet, and I didn't want to start crocheting it until it was out. But it will be out later today, so if I go live again tomorrow, we'll be crocheting possums with my new free tutorial that will be coming out then. So very excited about that. I had some delays, but I was hoping to release it yesterday, so on Monday, but it just didn't happen, so roll the punches though, and I will release it today. And then I have a tester call that I'm going to release Wednesday for Hazel the horse. She's a really pretty horse. I don't have one on hand right now, but that tester call will be out on my Instagram if any of you are interested. So I keep seeing these standing bees all over YouTube, Instagram, and I've been wanting to make them. But then last night I decided to just give it a go because I wanted another $12 piece on my table. So I made one last night and I absolutely fell in love with the pattern. So that's why I decided to make an absurd amount the next day. I'm also thinking of doing some in different colors, maybe a pink one and orange, green, blue, any color that I have on hand right now, but I haven't fully decided yet. I'll start with these 2 yellows and then go from there. So I've been crocheting all morning for about 3 hours working on these. They're actually pretty satisfying to make, and I have the pattern linked in the description if you want to see them. She does do a really good job organizing the event. I wouldn't be able to do what she's doing. It's crazy. What are you making for the Market Prep Challenge? I actually attended the Market Prep Challenge last year too, which was pretty cool. I didn't have anyone to do it with. I wasn't doing lives or anything, so this year's a little bit different. It's still really exciting though. Last year I did really well. It was a pretty good event last year too, so. Turtles and bees. What kind of bees? Like pill-shaped bees? Yeah, I've made a bunch of the pill-shaped ones before. I wanted to make something a little hardier, you know? But the mini ones are super cute still. There's a lot of patterns out there too, so if one pattern doesn't work, you can always go to the next one. There's the first standing bee done. This one I did last night, so it doesn't count. I worked at a 5mm hook. I usually work at the 6mm, but it makes the piece turn out a lot bigger, and I didn't quite like the way it looked as much. With the tighter hook, it looks a lot nicer, so. Turtles are super popular and they're super cute. Are you doing sea turtles or like mini box turtles? And of course dragons, they're awesome. That sounds perfect for the event. Sea turtles at a beach. I hope you do well. Sounds really cool. What's your favorite yarn type to use? I'm currently really enjoying working with a size 3 yarn. It's the Skinny Chanel by Loops and Thread. Just love how it looks when it works up, and I really love making smaller things. I think it looks a little bit more professional. But I do really love the Sweet Snuggles Lights from Michaels and the Home Chanel Slim. Those are my go-to yarns, but they're kind of hit and miss on quality sometimes. I like Burnette Blanket too, but I find that it's really stiff, kind of hard to work with. I like to crochet as often as I can, and I find that blanket yarn, it's really hard on my hands. We got another bee done. So that's 2 bees. Third one doesn't count yet. I made it last night, so it's 12 minutes. I think that's pretty good. Yeah, the before prep, that's the hard part. I'm prepping for a couple markets too, and even though they're a couple weeks away, I'm still nervous about them. I haven't actually ordered from Premier Yarns before. I put together orders. Is it like Sweet Snuggles Light, or is it a little different in texture? I assume it's similar. But yeah, I've always put together like carts on Parfait, or yeah, on Parfait Chunky, but they always have the colors that I want, and then most of them are out of stock, if that made any sense. Especially like the white and stuff. The important colors, that is. Just take my chances on Michaels now. And I like the fact that you can get a bigger skein. I'm also curious, have you ever had a bad ball of Parfait Chunky? So I've had bad balls of Michaels brand. Yeah, me too. I have a whole bunch of random yarn in my stash. I am not one of those aesthetically pleasing yarn hoarders. I just recently found the Skinny Chanel as well at my Michaels. I didn't even know it was a thing until a couple weeks ago. I don't know when it released, but I do know that Michaels has a hard time restocking, at least where I live. Yeah, I noticed that. Some of the burnout blanket's really nice. I was thinking the Joann's blanket yarn is super stiff. I bought a couple because I want to try it when they were all, you know, saying they're going to discontinue it and everything. I think I'll definitely stick with burnout for blanket yarn. It's much softer. I do like blanket yarn though for the durability. That is something that is important to me. I know these bees would last longer in a blanket yarn than a plushy yarn. Yeah, the plushy yarn goes everywhere. I'm constantly like pulling the end off to make sure it doesn't go everywhere while I'm sewing with it and crocheting with it. Yeah, it's pretty sad. The Sweet Snuggles Light and the Chanel Home Slim have so many issues. I got a bad ball of light blue yarn, so it was like not fluffy enough, falling apart really easily. Had like a different texture when you worked with it, but then the next blue ball of yarn I got was like perfect and maybe even a little too full. So I don't know who's putting the yarn together. Yeah, it's super annoying when it does that. It sucks too, like if you order from online, you can't, sorry for throwing that, you can't, feel it before you get it. So you just kind of have to trust that whoever's going to send it to you will send you a good skein, but, yeah, it's hit or miss. So this is a free pattern I found on Instagram. I've seen everybody making these, or a good portion of people making these, and maybe want to make them. But the wings are sewn on. So I changed the pattern to crochet the wings directly on and before I close the body. That way I can tie all of the tails on the inside and not have to tuck anything in. I noticed a lot of no-sew patterns. They say they're no-sew, but then you still have to tuck in a whole bunch of ends, which I guess is better than sewing something on, but at the same time, it's also just as tedious. I like to secure them on the inside as much as I can. Yeah, I don't know, it's like certain colors aren't done well. The Chanel Home Slim in that like rosy pink usually is not a very good color. Not full enough. And then the light blue, not full enough. I don't know what they're doing. I'm not quite sure what the quality control is like if they're letting yarns like skeins like that go through and be sold. It's even worse if you do the center pull and the outside looks nice, but then you start pulling from the center and the center doesn't look nice. That's even more annoying. Yeah, I've only had that happen a couple times. Yeah, it's the worst feeling. You just cross your fingers, there's a tiny little tail left that you can tie a new yarn onto and tuck it in. But yeah, I actually haven't had that happen a lot. I secure my magic rings, my chain 2, on the inside. I've had it happen for that, which is a little bit more tedious because then I have to either make sure I sew it closed properly or just start again. Yeah. I actually did that in one of my tutorials. It's the jellyfish tutorial for the Christmas challenge I did. I snapped the center tail while I was securing it. Super embarrassing, but I was like, I don't want to refilm it. I'm not refilming it. The other reason I like ordering from Michael's is their free shipping isn't as... You only have to have $49 worth of stuff. And I was looking at the Premier Yarns. Has to be, I think it was $90 before you get free shipping. That's kind of why I prefer Michael's over Premier Yarns at this point. I mean, I've never tried them before, so I don't know. But I like the ability to get like 4 skeins online instead of having to order a huge order of other stuff to get the free shipping. I mean, I could pay the shipping, but that's yarn. That's money I could be spending on yarn. And all the baby yellow ones are done. I made these guys too. I wanted to do it with a dark brown, but I don't have enough dark brown on hand. I haven't been able to find it. The other thing is certain colors I just can't get a hold of. You did? That is so cool. I have yet to take Dahlia to a market yet, so I'm really excited to see what happens. They work up pretty fast, huh? I know I'm a really fast crocheter, so my definition of fast isn't quite the same, but I'm curious, is it fast for you? Here's my mess of a mustard yellow. It's also all over the floor. About half the skein. It's all over the floor. With big projects like this, I just use it, and then when I'm done, I'll hand spin it. That's what this one was, so it's okay if it's a mess all over the floor. I'd love to know what colors you made Dahlia out of. I have a couple black ones with dark purple and dark red, and then I have a green, a blue, a purple, and a pink one. I'm prepping for a really large market, so I've got a lot of things on hand right now. I haven't tried those patterns. Or is that the one with the like the long legs that Refined Vibes was doing, or is that a different pattern? I've probably seen them around. Hour and a half, 2 hours, yeah. Cool. Mine take about an hour and a half, unless I'm watching TV, and then it takes longer. She's definitely like the perfect size though, Dahlia. A really good size and doesn't take as long to make. Yeah, I'm actually really proud of that pattern. I did not originally think about making tiny patterns, smaller patterns, but I'm really glad I did because it's super cute. I kind of realized that as awesome as the big ones are, not a lot of people necessarily want to use those patterns to make giant ones, especially if they're market prepping. The daisy pattern takes quite a while. It's like an all-day project for sure, but the Dahlia one, you can make a couple in a day. Black and lavender, that sounds really pretty. All three of those sound really pretty. Yeah, I was thinking purples and reds and probably greens. Which one do you guys like better, the darker yellow or the lighter yellow? I think they're both super cute. I was actually going to give the darker yellow cream wings. Totally forgot to do that. So they have white. But I don't know. I think both are super cute. I realized that I did not have enough of the lighter yellow, but I still wanted to have a good amount of bees. So do you make the monkey pattern? Is that what you're saying? I need to go check it out. I have not seen the pattern. I mean, I've seen Refined Vibes do it, but I haven't actually looked for it. For the most part, I just kind of freehand my own stuff. This bee is, I can't remember the word, but not my normal. Usually I'll make my own, but I didn't want to think about it. Hi! We're doing market prep challenge. Are you doing any market prepping? Yay, I'm so glad you love the pattern. I sometimes get a little bit of, like, I put that pattern together, you know? Like, not imposter syndrome, but just proud of myself and realizing that I'm pretty good at writing patterns, so I don't know. There's the first darker yellow one done, and 4 more to go. I've been practicing keeping my expectations low for most things. I have an issue where I have really high expectations for something, and then it really hurts when it doesn't go the way I want it to. So with the patterns and my YouTube and everything, I've just kind of kept my expectations low. So yeah, I think that's where kind of the shock comes from when I put the patterns out and see everyone apply to the tester call and everything. Ooh, you made a mini bag. Do you have an idea for your next project? Ooh, That dragon sounds really pretty. I think dragons in probably darker colors would sell well, but I haven't been to a market yet, so I don't know exactly what sells well yet. Maybe like a dark blue or purple or even green. I mean, I think you can make dragons in any color and they'd probably sell well. Does the monkey work up quickly? The mushy pops are pretty fun to make. They work up pretty quickly. They're a pretty good place to start too. They pretty fast. You learn a couple different techniques when you do it. That's cool. It works up pretty fast. The low sew is always good for the market prep. You know what I've struggled with? I've struggled with finding good browns. So when I think about making a monkey, I mean, I could make it in any color. I just immediately am like, I want to make it in brown, but I can't find good browns. Unless it's like a blanket yarn, which I guess would be okay, but yeah, the Michael's yarn, I think they only have a super dark brown. I haven't found any light browns. Nice, that's a lot of black yarn. Yeah, I'm finding recently I've been running out of black yarn super fast. I didn't used to, but I'm doing a lot more projects with black. Yeah, I do think those black dragons will do really well. You can make a lot of things with yarn, scissors, and a hook. If you want to make something that you need to stuff, you could use scrap yarn to stuff it. I've not heard of people using cotton balls, but if you do use those, you'll have to make sure you break them up. Probably chop them up would be the best, just so it's not like stiff. But the mushroom, the popping mushroom only needs a tiny bit of yarn for the eyes. You don't have to use safety eyes at all, and then since the actual mushroom is pretty small, you don't need a lot of stuffing. Yeah, it's so weird. I thought brown would be pretty popular, but maybe it's hard to make. I don't know. Got 3 more darker bees to do. It's so funny to talk to you guys and you all are having the same issues. I'm the only crocheter in my house, so my complaints don't mean anything to the rest of my family, but that's really funny. I'm gonna try and join her live. I might be cooking dinner though, so I'm 3 hours ahead of her, I think. So we'll have to see. I will try. Somebody needs to tell her to do it a little earlier. Yeah, if she would do it like around 2 for her, it would be okay. But yeah. I'll try and catch it, I guess, afterward if I can't. Yeah, you can probably hear the geese. They're very loud. And a third dark one is done. Super cute. 2 more to go. What are your guys' best seller at markets? I have a little minis bin of just like random things that take about 20 minutes to make. I charge 1 for $6 or 2 for $10, and those are my best sellers. They don't make me a lot of money, but I think they're about like half my sales, which is really cool. It definitely encourages people to come in and look and then get something if they weren't going to get something more expensive. Chickens sell pretty well, but not at every market. It's just kind of hit or miss which market actually sells well. Yeah, everyone loves the turtles. I love making turtles. I'm just curious why a lot of people love turtles. Yeah, for me, mushrooms are hit or miss as well. Sometimes I'll sell out, and then other times I won't sell any. I think it just depends on the crowd. I find that the older generations don't necessarily know what it is. This is funny. So every time I go to a market, I put the poppy mushrooms on my table with some tags, and they're all $10 each. The ones made with this yarn. Every time somebody will come up to the table, try and play with it, and then they'll put it back on the table upside down. I don't know why they put it upside down. Like, even if I have a sign there that says popping mushroom, they'll still put it back on the table upside down, like they don't know what it is. Just silly little things like that. It's so funny. And then the other thing is, like, they walked up to my table and it was facing the other way. But then when they put it down, they put it upside down. Like, that's the way it was meant to go. It's just funny. I don't really mind fixing the table. It gives me a chance to, you know, reassess from the buyer's perspective. But yeah, it's always funny when they flip it over. Yeah, I've heard axolotls do pretty well. I haven't actually experienced it as much. Like, I've never had a moment where people were like totally obsessed and then I didn't have any more. But they've always sold like okay for me. And these are like all different sizes too. The mini ones, the big ones. But I also have a lot of options on my table, so that probably contributes to not wanting to purchase the axolotl and going somewhere else. Going to get something else from my table. Yeah, I sell like, I'd say about this size, but with baby velvet yarn for axolotls. Those ones sell pretty well. I find that the pink one is always the one that's gone. I haven't made any of those, the egg poppers. That's Cable and Canvas's pattern, right? Do you do the one with the chick head or the actual egg? If we're talking about the same thing. I was going to say the other thing that sells well for me are dinos. My dinosaurs sell really well. And usually it's always the green one that sells best. Do you think your items sell well because of the price they're at or because of the thing they are? I'm not quite sure exactly how I feel about my stuff. Sometimes it's like people don't even care what the price is and they'll just pick stuff out and then they'll pay. But then other times it's like, okay, I will definitely want a cheaper option. I'm just curious if people buy their axolotls and stuff because they're cheaper or because they're cute. It's just something interesting. I don't really know if you guys have the answer, but it's always funny when a parent comes up and they point at the axolotl and they can't remember what it's called. That's my favorite thing. And then the kid corrects them. I don't know if you guys have had that happen to you, but it's really sweet when that happens. Yeah, I think my target audience has been high schoolers. And that's where, like, I would love to do backpack buddies, but I'm just not sure if high schoolers really want them or if they want the bigger things that I make. I should try making some alligators too. I do not live in Florida, but they would still be cute. I bought some really nice keychains for selling keychains. So they're like metal, they don't break easily, and they just clip onto the whatever you want to put them on. And it's like perfect for an older adult, like a purse or something, because they don't look plastic. But then I kind of realized that probably scares people away from buying them, because they are really heavy duty. So I was thinking of getting some of those maybe bigger keychains, maybe still in metal, but bigger. Maybe that'll be more attractive, or even plastic. That's the thing, is I don't want them to break, but I also still want them to be attractive to young kids. Okay. I think it's just the keychain type that people don't like as much from me. Yeah, having the smaller ones on your table is the best plan. That's what I did with that's what I'm gonna do with my unicorns. I think it'll like draw people in, but get them to buy the smaller options. What's your favorite thing to make for markets? I'm kind of torn. Like, I like doing this factory style stuff, like crocheting a whole bunch of bees and then being done and having the whole hoard to look at. But then, like, I also really love to design new patterns. So, I don't know, I'm just curious. What's your guys' favorite thing to crochet? And it doesn't have to sell well either. It's always funny when people come up and they just pick something up and buy it. Yeah, Those are the people you want at your booth, though. I think when people don't make giant things like that, they're kind of missing out on that sale, because what if somebody does come up and want it and has the perfect amount of money or the perfect plan for it, and then you're just kind of missing out if you're not making something big. But that's where I keep my expectations low for markets. Just don't expect it to sell, and that way when it does sell, it's a lot more exciting. But I definitely think those larger plushies are important. Draw people in and get them to see your skills. Fluffies everywhere. Just gotta close up this last bee, which is really cool. I was going to do possums in this video, but the pattern is not out yet, and I didn't want to start crocheting it until you guys could go save it for later or follow along. I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done with the bees. But I will be back on tomorrow, probably about the same time, and we're going to finish up my possums because I have a pile of heads that need bodies. There we go, the last bee is done. Super cool, all done. So I've got 10 yellow bees, 5 in the darker color, 5 in the lighter color. And then I think I'm going to prep some on my own in just a rainbow of colors, a bunch of different colors in case people are interested. I don't know if they will be, but I want to fill up the shelf they're going to be on. So tomorrow I'll be back on and I'll be crocheting this possum pattern. It's my own pattern and it's actually coming out later today, so feel free to check it out. You can make it in tiny yarn. I don't have it, but they turn out about like that big. But we'll be crocheting these. I got a pile of heads I need to finish. We'll do it tomorrow, finish these possums up, and then yeah, I probably won't do lives for the rest of the market challenge because I've got some things going on, some birthdays to prepare for. So yeah, tune in tomorrow. We'll crochet some possums, and I really enjoyed crocheting with you. This live was really great, and I got a lot of things done, so I hope you did too. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.